Good evening. We are here. It's Monday night, so it can only be the ILFL Soccer Night Show with me, David Joseph. And guess who we dragged in off the street? It's your terrible twins. It's Nanu and Rashid have come back to join us, strangers that they have been for the last few weeks. But no doubt we'll hear plenty from them as the night draws on. We have our guests from the old to the new guys, Esprit, who are in the league. We have Mabs and Mohammed in the studio. They're going to tell us all about themselves, their club, and everything that they're going to do in the ILFL Sunday League. Speaking of the Sunday League, I have to show you some results. And tonight is a bit of a fright night, but yesterday was probably a little bit more scary for one of our Premier Division teams. Have a look at these results on your screen right now. Beaumont-Bromley, we always love it because that's one of the traditional games, a little bit like Man U Arsenal, isn't it? No, it isn't. 2-0 to Beaumont it was on the day. Hawk and Eagle, where did that come from? They managed to score 2 goals. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. They got defeated by Robin Hyder Tigers, who put 3 past them. And look at that, right down there at the bottom. To score 14 goals in a game, you have to be scoring every 5 minutes. St. Catherine's, you need to do something about that defence of yours. Before I have a look at any of the other results, Rash, for a Premier Division fixture...
Yeah. To be honest, in fairness, St. Catherine's didn't start with a full 11 players, so they did have a few players short to start off with. Plus, from my head, they didn't have the keeper as well, which didn't help. Surprisingly, they scored 2 goals. I think that should be the focus point. Reach out, we've seen them in the recent weeks, very strong, very hungry.
They're not messing around this season.
Because I think the 2 teams in form in the recent weeks I've seen have taken this league very seriously is Reach Out and Ace. They're winning the games and they're not taking things lightly. They're going for goal difference as well. So Reach Out, to come against them without 11 players, without your keeper, you're asking for trouble. So it wasn't a surprise. I saw them after the game, Reach Out and said, look, they ain't been tested yet, so they're looking for a challenge. So it'll be interesting to see how things develop in the next few weeks.
St. Catherine's end up with 11 players on the pitch?
Eventually they did, but if you against a top side like Reach Out, there's no way you should turn up with minimum other than
no excuse out there, guys. The clocks went back. You had an extra hour in bed. You can't blame it on the clocks. No excuse for you at all. Let's have a look at the First Division results as they were on Sunday as well. Our boys on the right, smiley. 2 goals to 0. They beat AMY by. Seoul Youth look like they're coming back into it now. They've ironed out their early season wobbles. They beat Burdett by 3 goals to 0. The game that we thought was going to be tight, it was the top of the table clash, first versus second. Redcoat showed everybody how it's done. They beat PYO by 6 goals to 2. And down at the bottom there, Stepney B look like they're finding some form as well. They beat a Lotus team by 3 goals to 1. What does that do to all of the tables? In the Premier Division, well, Reach Out are there. Surprisingly, they put 31 goals in 6 games, but are still only 2 points clear of Stepney, who have a game in hand over them, with Ace just a point behind there. And those 3 teams, I have to say, look like the 3 who are going to be setting the pace in that division. Robin Hyder Tigers, well done to you. The hit and miss team, if you can find some form and be consistent, you could be swinging it with the big hitters up top there. And I have to say, for the 3 teams at the bottom, it's looking very, very ominous for you. Between you 3 teams, you've leaked nearly 75 goals in 6 games, and Christmas is not going to be a good time for you. Into the First Division, let's have a look. Redcoat atop. And there was a time when PYO were there and were hanging on to it. Good team, good young side, but now the experience is beginning to show. And Redcoat are 4 points clear of Seoul Youth of all teams. Seoul Youth were down at the bottom 2 earlier in the season. They are now 2nd from top. Esprit, 3rd place, 10 points. Joint 3rd, in fact, with the early season leaders, PYO. And on that note, I have to turn to my guys to my right, Mabs and Mohammed. You've got to be very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy with the start we've made. Just like any team in the division, anyone can win on the day. And we realised that right from the first week where, didn't start off as well as we should have. And we're just finding form now. We're getting used to the league, how it operates, the referees, and just the players in general. I mean, Fire's here. He does the man management on a week-to-week basis. He can inform a bit more about the challenges.
I'll tell you what you can do, all right? I've had different people up here. We've all had fun with the name. Is it Esprit? What?
There you got it. It's Spirit.
It's Spirit.
Yes.
So tell us about the name, who you are, where you come from. Let everybody know who you guys are.
Well, Spirit developed from 5 of us friends who got together and said we want to form a team, and that's how we all came about.
All local boys.
Local boys. So myself, Mabs, one person that Rashid knows quite well, Babs, Aslam, and another friend of ours, Cam. So us 5, we got together, put our hands in our pocket, and we said we're going to put the fee up for the registration. And then we started recruiting other players. And in the past, a lot of players have approached me and said, look, why don't you set up a team? Because you get a lot of respect from people, and we'd respect a team that's managed by you. And so I said, all right, let's go with it.
So how long has the team been going?
We've been going for a few months now.
Yeah, I mean, this is our first ever like competitive league we've been involved in.
So when you say it like that, this is incredible now where you are. I mean, is this, are you looking and getting a little bit of a nosebleed looking down and thinking, whoa, we just wanted to enjoy our football, we don't really want to be under pressure? Or are you happy with what you're achieving?
You know what? Go on, Maps.
Yeah, personally, we think it's par. We're on par. You know, we should have done better in other games. And like Fayez said, I think the main thing about us is we're just a bunch of guys who just enjoy football. You know, and that's what we want to entwine within our team, our ethos. You know, we're not here to make out we're a semi-pro club or it's a stepping stone for bigger and better things. We're just guys. Anyone come on board and just enjoy your game. We've got 2 main objectives. One is to keep it diverse. Now we've got people from Argentina, Italy, and across Europe, as in addition to a lot of Bengalis as well, and we enjoy that. That's what we want to keep within our team. And the second is, our professional status, like what we do, financial services. Fayez here, he's got track record of helping develop disadvantaged adults and youths. We want to implement that in addition to our football club. So, helping our members, whether it be for employment or just career advice in general. And that's what we're trying to build, like a bit of a family team. And we're on the right path at the moment, and that's our long-term objectives. We're not here just to make up the numbers. We're aiming to win the league, and we'll see how it goes. As I said, any team can beat any team on the day. We just got to keep it game by game and see how it goes.
There's purpose, aims, and objectives, and we sit here time after time now on this stage, and we talk about the different clubs who have, a real status within the league.
I know. I mean, it's difficult to grasp that a team that was formed just 3 months ago, has come this far. We're talking about joint third, fourth position, and having won 3 games already and 1 draw and 2 losses. That's an amazing result. And as you mentioned, you've got a few Argentinians and Italians in the team, and I'm sure that actually helps because they're quite passionate about winning things. So without a bit of that, I doubt you'd be winning any games anyway. No matter how good your players are, you need a bit of passion in there as well. So it's quite unusual to see teams like that come in and see some success so early on in the season, because it takes at least 1 or 2 seasons for the teams, and sometimes the teams don't even get past the first season because they start folding because they don't make any success, they don't enjoy, they keep conceding goals, losing every week in, week out. And what you say, you're building like a family sort of atmosphere, but that actually disintegrates when you start losing the game. So it's very, very critical and crucial that the senior management actually looks after and talks to the players. So I'm sure you're going for a very good patch now, but further down the line, it's a long winter season. I'm sure there'll be times that when you may not get the results that you wish for, and those are the times that you have to keep the family together. That's my only advice to you.
Well, let's look at it now at the moment. I mean, tonight we're having a cup draw.
Yep.
You guys are in the cup.
Yes.
And a cup is a cup, and like we always say, it's just one game on a day, and it's who wants it on a day. It doesn't matter where you are. So you guys are going to be involved in holding that draw. You excited, looking forward to it?
Definitely. Feels to me like, drawing for the FA Cup.
Well, that is it. The big cup right there. That's the one that they're all going to be playing for in a couple of weeks' time. These guys are going to be drawing the names out of the hat. A little later in the show. In fact, in the next segment of the show, we're going to be doing that live right here. So for the 16 teams that are still there, those in the Premier Division and those still remaining in the first, stick around and we'll see what happens there. I'm just going to show you the fixtures that are coming up this Sunday for you. They're here on the screen right now. Into the Premier Division, we go back to another one of those classic fixtures. We've got Beaumont versus Stepney, which will be a very interesting game to see where both teams are. You know, can Stepney still, being the aged veteran team that they are now, still hold one over Beaumont, who have come back and bounced back from what was a season they'd like to forget from last year. Bromley versus Ace will also be a good game. I know Bromley ran reach out very, very close a couple of weeks ago and felt that they could have taken all 3 points. Can they do that to a very impressive Ace side? Hawk and Eagle v London Tigers, Reach Out v Robin Hood Tigers. I need to talk to you, Rush, about these two fixtures in particular. Hawk and Eagle, I've kind of spoke about it over the last couple of weeks. To all intents and purposes, I'm not looking like a Premier Division side. They're really struggling.
I think, in fairness, both teams got new management. Both teams are trying out new players. A lot of the existing players left Hawk and Eagle, so he's got new players, very young players, and not established like before. So that stature, the strength is missing from Hawk and Eagle. But at the end of the day, they're in the Premiership. It's their responsibility to recruit, get more players, and make sure they can compete. Tigers, very surprising with the squad they had. Yeah. It doesn't matter who the manager is, because the squad they have, he needs to obviously sort things out, because it's not been heard of London Tigers in week 4 or 5 in bottom of the league. And for a club like that to be in that position is unheard of. So,
in fact, you know what I'm thinking? That's London Tigers now playing are the sort of team that a team like this are looking forward to playing now.
In the cup,
a real banana skin.
It could be, because I think this Sunday they need. It's not. We don't normally say end of the season must-win game. It's a must-win game for both teams.
It's a must-win game for both teams. Who needs it more?
I think Tigers need it more because of the repetition. Hawk and Eagle can take in the chin and say, you know what, we're not at that. In terms of caliber, size, you've got to look at Tigers.
Great scout for Hawk and Eagle to take at this stage of the season.
If Hawk and Eagle can upset the result, that pull Tigers in a deep problem. So everyone, I think all games are tough, but I think the focus will be on Hawk and Eagle versus London Tigers.
And Reach Out versus the Robin Hood Tigers. Like we know Reach Out are impressive. They're steamrolling everybody. But for me, no team is invincible. Yeah. Robin Hood Tigers on their day. Can they do something?
As I said on a few occasions, Robin Hood Tigers got the youth, they got the talent. It's just punctuality. If they can get the team there on the kick-off time, the 11 players, they'll give any team a hard time. It's just a matter of getting there. That's my only concern, because I've seen them play. They're very good, very young, very talented, but they can't get the 11 players on the pitch at kick-off time. It's always 2 or 3 drifting in.
The mopeds are not working for you guys. I have to say that, Robin, it's not working for you.
It's funny they got 2 or 3 mopeds as well, yeah.
Not working for you. Get a moped each, not 4 of you on one. That might help for you. Let me show you the fixtures taking place in the First Division this Sunday. Here they are on the screen for you right now. Ooh. AMY played Bow. AMY, again, another team, coulda, shoulda, woulda, haven't really fired yet. Bow started well, falling away, maybe something could happen there. Key game for both teams to see if they can kickstart a little bit more in their season. Burdett versus Arsenal, I've said it too many times on here. Arsenal are a team that could and should be doing better. Nobody is beating Arsenal by more than 1 or 2 goals, but they need to tighten up at the back and score more goals up front, and then they could do something. Big game for these boys here. They're up against Redcoat. Now, can they be the team to stop the Redcoat juggernaut? Are they going to be the team now to take some points away from Redcoat? Lotus playing Seoul Youth. The way Lotus are going at the moment, and Seoul Youth, I can only see that going one way. And Stepney B versus PYO. Stepney B now seem to have found their feet and established some kind of momentum. PYO will be hurting. A bit of an ouch moment last Sunday against Redcoat, and we'll be looking to bounce back all of those games. We will be reporting on here on the show next Monday. Now, as I said, we're going to be having the draw here live in the next segment of the show for the ILFL Cup.
League Cup.
And in the third section of the show, we're going to be doing the draw for the Veterans Cup. That's why we brought the veterans here as well, to do that. So all of you guys who are there, the 16 teams who normally kick around on a Thursday, you're sitting there, you're looking on the website, you're seeing there's no fixtures there. Why? Because we're going to draw and you're going to play on Thursday. It's all going to take place live here on the ILFL Soccer Night Show. We'll be back